सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। परम्परस्याः प्रकृतेरनादिम् एकं निविष्टं बहुधा गुहासु सर्वालयं सर्वचराचरस्थं त्वामिव विष्णुं शरणं प्रपद्ये. Okay, we were in the 8th verse according to this, or in general 10th you can say. We saw this. Avyaktaad andamabhud andad brahma tatah praja sargaha mayamayi pravrittihi samhriyata iyam punah kramashaha mayamayopyacheta gunakarana ganaha karoti karmani तदधिष्ठाता देहि सचेतनः अपि न करोति किंचिदपि यद्वच्चेतनमपि सन्निकटस्थे भ्रामके भ्रमति लोहम् तद्वत्करण समूहश्चेष्टति चिदधिष्ठिते देहे यद्वत्सवितुः उदिते करोति कर्माणि जीवलोकोऽयम् न च तानि करोति रविः न कारयति तद्वदात्मापि. Okay, so we saw that the Srishti is done by Prakriti, which can be looked upon as having 8 constituents, or it evolves in an 8-fold manner. Okay, some people say Sankhya, who talk about Prakriti and Purusha and how this Prakriti evolves, are the first to talk about evolution in creation, because they talk about an avyakta, which is unmanifest, or avyakrita, which is undifferentiated. So undifferentiated or unmanifest, any word you can use, avyakta and avyakrita. From that only the totality of buddhi comes, which is called mahat. Then the evolution goes further. Ahankara is there. Okay, the sense of I as a separate individual. Then all the Mahabhutas are also come from that. Like that, there is a certain evolution in the creation. Even in the Mahabhutas, first the Akasha is supposed to have manifested. Then from the Akasha, again Vayu Agnihi. From Agnihi, the Apaha, or waters or liquids. Then finally Prithvi. Like this, there is a certain krama is there. This krama is there even in the Taittiriya Upanishad. But the important thing is that this Prakriti cannot act by itself. Okay, that is the main thing. The Prakriti is under the control of Purusha, or the Ishvara, Jagat Karanam Brahma for us. That is the Vedantin's important point. Because the Sankhya says Prakriti and Purusha are completely different. They don't have anything to do with each other. And Prakriti creates by itself. Okay, Swatantra. Prakriti or Pradhana, according to their idea, creates everything by itself. Even though we take this idea of Pravriti and all this evolution, we have no problem with that. But the main thing for us is what? This Prakriti or Maya is Ishvara Adhina, means it is under the rule or under the control of Ishvara. It's a very important thing for us, because Ishvara is the Mayavi. Upanishad itself says, Mayam tu Prakritim Vidyat, Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. Like that, the Shvetashvatara Upanishad says. So the Maya is Prakriti, but the Mayinam, the magician has to be there for the Maya, this magic to take place. Like this magic of creation, you can say that it is from Prakriti, but then that magician still is Ishvara. It is all Ishvara Adhina only. So that is an important thing. And already we saw the 8th verse here, whatever is given as 8 here. Avyaktad, Andam Abhut, Andad Brahma. So this is the Krama. So Brahmaji or the Hiranyagarbha is the first, you can say, first one who identifies with the body. But Hiranyagarbha's body is the entire Sukshma world, okay, the totality. And then the Stula identification also is there. That is sometimes referred to as Virat or Prajapatihi. So that Virat and Prajapati only, then they create all the Praja or the beings. Of course, with along with the beings, all the worlds in which these beings are there, correct? They are also created. We have to understand that. Because why the beings themselves are manifested or created? Only for them to exhaust their karma. And for you to exhaust your karma, you have to undergo different kinds of experiences. And if you have to undergo different kinds of experiences, there have to be different kinds of lokas or worlds. So multiple, there is a bhuloka, which is this world wherever we are. Then we do talk about whatever. There are 7 down, and up also there are 6 more are there. So totally 14 worlds are there. 7 up, 7 down. All these things are there. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Mahaha, Tapaha, Janaha, Satyam. Like that. From Bhu onwards up to Satya Loka is 7 up. Then Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. So I think I got the list correctly. It's good that I remember. So these 14 lokas are all created so that you can undergo different experiences. If Papa is more in your account, then you go to 7 down. And in fact, in the Puranas, some gory details are all given. What all you experience in this Atala Vitala and all that, all these different kinds of Naraka, you can call them. And also some details are given if you go to Pitraloka, Devaloka, Swargaloka, all these different lokas, what kind of experience you can have. So all these things are created, sustained, and they go back in the same order in which they have come. This much we saw. Now in this, the important thing what we have to understand, okay, the creation is there. There is no problem for me. Okay. Where is the problem? I take myself as one of the created beings. Correct? That is where the problem is. I take myself as an individual. Everybody comes to Vedanta because you think you are an individual who is inhabiting a particular body. Okay. And that you are a karta bhokta. That I am a doer, I am an enjoyer. And this is something which is called avichara siddha in the Shastra. Understand that. You have never analyzed your own reality, who you are, all these things. From the day you were born, an identity was foisted on you, correct? You are the son of so and so, daughter of so and so. You belong to this community, this country. You are a Manushya. Okay. So you have followed all that. That identity is crystallized, is very strong. And afterwards, all the knowledge you have gained is only about the objective world, correct? You go to school, you study physics, chemistry, biology, geography, history, English, language, whatever, grammar, mathematics, computer science nowadays, whatever you study. It is all about the external world. You are gaining lot of knowledge about the external world, but the knowledge about the external world is unending. The more you know how much you don't know also. It keeps on increasing. It's never going to come to an end. Understand that. But in all this, you have taken yourself for granted. Okay. What is that? That I am a karta bhokta is taken for granted. But the problem is, being a bhokta or enjoyer, I am never satisfied with whatever I accomplish, correct? Or whatever I gain. Whatever I gain, it gives some joy. We don't deny that. That's why you keep on going for something or the other, correct? Some experience, some object you want to gain. It gives you some joy, but that joy doesn't last. The object itself doesn't last. Any experience doesn't last. Maximum, even if you go for an experience to some exotic location and you want to experience nature and this and that, it's okay. The photographs and Instagram reels are all wonderful because they never show you all the garbage and the mosquitoes and other things which are there. Right? You think that you go into the forest and everything will be hunky dory, but it's not easy. Even if you go there, of course, in spite of all that, you can enjoy. You can have an enjoyable experience. It depends. But even that doesn't last. You have to come back. It is the same with heaven also. Understand that. Our Shastras are very clear. Even if you go to heaven, Abrahma Bonal Lokan Punaravartino Arjuna, like that Bhagavan says, even in the Gita. Okay. And even the Veda also says that. Like even this world, whatever you gain is due to karma. And karma phala is limited. Similarly, even the heaven, etc., you gain through karma only. It's due to karma phala. Punya, Utkrishta, whatever. If the punya is more, you go to lokas where there are pleasant experiences, more pleasant experiences, we have to say, correct? But even that will end because you have to come back. Once the punya is over, you have to come back. So that being the case, I am never satisfied because whatever I gain is limited and it goes away. And also this, I look upon myself as a limited being also, who has wants, who has desires, who has needs. Okay, people also differentiate between want and need and all that. For me, everything is the same. You are a wanting person always. As long as you look upon yourself as a wanting person, you can never be satisfied. Is that clear? You are wanting, lacking. You cannot say, in Tamil there is a song, it is very popular in Kacheri circuit also. What is that? Kurai onrum illai, Marai Murti Kanna, means I don't have any lack. Like this, there is a song, I do not want anything, I am not wanting, I am not lacking anything. That you can sing. But that singer who is singing that itself wants applause from the crowd. Correct? Or that person is feeling lot of lack, lot of kurai is still there. AC is not working in the hall, audio system is not proper. Still we sing that, which is good. What I am saying is, you have all these likes and dislikes, binding likes and dislikes. If something is there, then only I can be happy. Correct? Because this is one kind of lack or wanting. Correct? If something is there, then only I can be happy. Means that is called a binding desire. And because of that alone, I can be happy. You have decided that. Even though that something to gain that you have to spend a lot of money, effort, etc. So anything you gain in the world is mixed with dukkha or suffering. Why? Because you have to always expend something to gain something. That itself is a problem. Nothing is free in this world. There is no free lunch, as they say, correct? So, similarly, even after you gain, you have to spend to maintain. Even after spending and maintaining and all that, it will go away. Then you will start crying again. So that is the nature of all your accomplishments. Understand that. You have to understand that very clearly. So there is some joy is there, but it is not changing you fundamentally. Fundamentally, I am a wanting person, lacking person, limited being, and it is not acceptable to me. That is the problem with all of us, correct? The basic problem of any individual is I am lacking, I am wanting, and that is not acceptable. So it is a problem of self non-acceptance. In my own judgment, I am not acceptable to me as I am. If I am acceptable to me as I am, then I won't be going after different things, correct? In fact, then I can say like Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna says in the Gita, what he says? Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana, he says. Hey Arjuna, I don't have anything to be done in all three worlds. Okay, all three worlds also sometimes we use. Don't ask me, you said 14, Bhagavan is saying three. Here three means basically three types of worlds also you can take. Okay, whatever is there below, bhuloka, above, like that we can take. Or bhuhu, boha, swaha also you can take. Or they say bhuhu, antariksha and swarga. Whatever is in between the space and everything, and then the Swargaloka or Vishnu Loka, whichever way, three worlds. In all three worlds, which covers the entire universe, I don't have anything to be done. He says, Nanavaptam avaptavyam. Means I don't have to gain anything to be happy, or I don't have to get rid of something to be happy. Correct? Avaptavyam, anavaptavyam. Na means both are not there for me. I don't have to gain anything, because the problem of a human being is what? Either you think if I have to have this to be happy. The other problem is if something is there, I cannot be happy. Correct? That is also a lack. That is also a big problem. In fact, that is a bigger problem. If mother-in-law is there, I cannot be happy. But you don't know how to get rid of that person. Okay. So it is a problem then. Anybody who is there in your life, but you cannot be happy in their presence is a problem. And you are not able to get rid of that person. Not only person, one mosquito is good enough to spoil your entire night. It will come near your ear and it will starts making some sound, let us say. Anyway, at least with mosquito, you can get into a net and protect yourself, correct? In fact, that's why somebody said mosquito is the most powerful animal. Why? Because all other animals, we put a net and catch them. But for mosquito, you get into the net, correct? Mosquito puts you in the net actually. So it is more powerful than any other animal, whatever it is. So what I am saying is, the human experience is that I need something to be happy. Similarly, I also want to get rid of something to be happy. Both are there. If something is there only, I is not there only, I'll be happy. Both are there in human beings. So that is something we have to be very clear. And once you understand that, that means what we are saying is you are taking yourself as a karta bhokta. That is what we are saying. You take yourself as a doer and enjoyer. And the enjoyer is not satisfied, so you have to keep doing something or the other. And you think that by doing something and gaining something, I'll satisfy myself. But it never happens. In fact, in satisfaction, there is always a law of diminishing return also. Because whatever you get, something new you get more joy out of it. Next day onwards, it is reducing already. There is a law of diminishing return. That is what is called. Whatever you enjoy the first time, it is great. 100th time, already it is boring. You want to get rid of it. Right? It is true of even songs. That's why you keep on having all these hit songs are changing. The top 20 will keep changing every week. They have countdown and all that, correct, in many of these radios. So that is what I look upon myself as. But is that the reality or not? You have not really analyzed that. And Vedanta is all about analyzing that alone. In fact, the only topic of Vedanta is to find out whether whatever you have assumed about yourself, is it true or not? You have taken yourself for granted. You have taken yourself for granted that I inhabit only this body, and this body, mind, sense. Also, you have a self identity with reference to that. You take it as I. But whether really the body, mind, sense complex can be called as I, that itself has to be analyzed, we say. That is one of the fundamental analysis we have to do. It is called Atma Anatma Viveka, or it can be even called as Drik Drishya Viveka also. There is even a text called Drik Drishya Viveka by Vidyaranya, very important text. Some of you may have studied also. So the Drik means the seer, knower, cognizer. And Drishya is what? Whatever is seen, known, cognized, object, correct? Your object of cognition is Drishya. Now, can the Drik and Drishya be one and the same? Means it can never be, correct? Subject and object cannot be same. I hope all of you agree with that principle. It's a very simple principle, correct? Subject and object cannot be one and the same. Everybody accepts that. So let us see what it implies. It implies that whatever I know is not I. This much you have to be very clear. Whatever I know as an object of my knowledge, as an object of my cognition, whatever I cognize as an object of my cognition is not I. Is that clear? You can know through any means, whether you see it, you hear it, whatever, or even you infer something, etc. There are many modes of knowing. Whichever way you know, an object of your knowledge is not I. This is the fundamental principle we use in Vedanta. Okay, using this, how do I analyze myself? Because I want to know who am I. Who am I is a big thing, correct? Who am I? Who am I? Some people are doing japa. Who am I? Who am I? And all. It's not like, it's not supposed to be done like a japa. Understand that. It is a very conscious analysis we are doing. Vichara. It is Atma Vichara. Who am I is really Atma Vichara. Just questioning like that is not enough. Understand that. Because the questioner himself is ignorant. So just questioning will not make any change. First you have to question. Nobody doubts that. But the question and analysis has to lead you to a certain knowledge. And what is that here we are saying? So you have accepted the principle that whatever I know is not I. Now let us apply this to everything, okay, around me. I have something here. I don't know what it is. It is some remote. I haven't even used it for many months, I think. So whatever, this remote is not I, because I know this remote, correct? So no doubt about that. There is no confusion. Now let us come little bit nearer. What about this cloth? I have an uttariya. There is no confusion. This is not I. This cloth is something, some other object separate. What about something you are wearing? The watch or the glasses. Even though I see through my glass, without glass, in fact, okay, I can still see, not very bad. But for some people, you can't see anything. Okay. So you are seeing with the glass, but still you don't say, I am very dirty. Because the glass is dirty, you don't say, I am dirty, correct? You are very clear, glass is dirty, I'll get it cleaned. You don't say, I am dirty because the glass is dirty. Because there is no self-identification with glass. You are very clear, I am not the glass. Okay, but then from where does this start? It starts from here. Even the hair, even though the hair is something you can cut, It's not even, or the nails and all, something you can cut, but then you still have a self identity with the hair. Because if there is no hair, you have a complex. I am bald. Or the hair has become white, means I have gray hair. I am becoming old. All this so you have a self identity. As soon as the skin and the hair starts, from there onwards, you have self identification. You don't have any self identification with the glass and watch and the cloth. They are all very intimate with you, nearby. Or even this mala, let us say I'm wearing. But the skin and hair onwards, confusion starts. Why? Hair also is seen, known, correct? I can see my hair, I can touch it, I can see my skin, touch it, feel it, but still I take it as I. Is that correct or not? It's not correct, because we are applying the same principle everywhere, correct? Whatever I see is not I. Whatever I know is not I. And I know my body as an object. Still, I use the word I with reference to that, and I take it as I also. And all the bodily problems are my problems now. Correct? If the body is having some problem, it is my problem. Then what about other things? Things which are happening within the body, hunger, thirst, all the physiological processes also I am aware of. They are also an object of cognition for me. But still I take it as I. I am hungry. I am thirsty. That's what we call prana. Prana also you take as Atma and then suffer. What about then mind? Everything in your mind is known to you. It becomes evident to you, correct? All your thoughts are evident to you. All your emotions are evident to you. But then you have identity with the mind. With the mind and intellect, the identity is even more, correct? And even identity with the indriyas. My ear is doesn't hear very well, means I am deaf. It's not that the ear is deaf. I am deaf. My eyes don't see, means I am blind. It's not that eyes are blind. So the self identity is there with reference to the indriya, the sense organs. Self identity is there with reference to the mind. I am suffering, I am happy. But suffering and joy and happiness are also mental states only, which are evident to you. I am angry. Anger also is only an emotion which is evident to you. But some people are so caught up with their own emotions, they are not even able to objectify their emotion. Okay, they do some stupid things also due to emotional outburst and then regret later on at leisure. Okay, so these things are happening. So whatever is known to me as an object is not I. This is the fundamental Vedanta. And all action is happening in all these things only, correct? I am not doing anything really. I am only a conscious being to whom everything becomes evident. I don't do anything. All but lot of activities happening in the body. Even if you don't want, your heart is beating, stomach is digesting, working, and in fact it becomes hungry because of that only, correct? Blood is flowing. It's not you don't even have any conscious control over all these things, correct? They are all involuntary. That's why we say there is even an autonomous nervous system in the body. It is autonomous. It doesn't work due to your will or anything, correct? So things are happening. How is it happening? Did I do anything? Means I did not do anything, but my body is functioning still. The body is functioning. Mind is functioning. You don't know how the last thought came, correct? Or the how what the next thought is going to be also you don't know, but it keeps coming. Something keeps coming in the mind. Ideas come in the intellect. So these things are all happening. Did I do means I cannot say I did anything. In fact, the entire external world also I didn't do anything, correct? Everything is given to me. including my body, mind, sense complex, everything is given. I did not choose this body or my parents. I did not choose this bhuloka to be born. And as soon as I am born, everything is given. The entire external world is given. I did not create it. Then who is doing what? Means here, that is what he is saying beautifully in the 9th verse here. See, Maya Mayopi Acheta Gunakarana Ganaha Karoti Karmani. So the Ganaha means group of things are there. What? Gunas, Karanas, etc. They are the ones who are doing things. Correct? So Guna Karana Gana. They are the ones. So Guna Karana Gana qualities means Gunas. Means here Guna we have to take it as Vishaya. Because the Gunas only are appearing as the external world to us. In fact, the Gunas also appear as your all the organs also which you have. Because that is our creation model. Understand that. We have a creation model of 5 elements. 5 elemental model. The beauty of our creation model is it does not account for only the external world or the physical world. It also accounts for the subtle, all the things, mind and indriyas, etc. Because in the 5 elemental model, the whole world is reduced into Akasha, Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithivi. Correct? Space, gaseous, gas we can say, instead of wind. Vayu can be called as gas. And then Agni, fire and all kinds of energy. Then you have liquids, water, and then Prithivi, solid. All these things only makes up this world. Everything else is are all elementals. Your own body is also an elemental, correct? All these 5 are there in your body. Without Akasha, in fact, you cannot even eat. You require space in the stomach, correct? And whatever the digestive tract should have space so that you can put it in the mouth and it can go inside. So space is there. Then what about Vayu? You have to breathe. Without Vayu, in fact, you are dead body. Then temperature has to be there at the right temperature. Even if 1 degree goes up, then you have fever, body doesn't work correctly. So you have to maintain the temperature. Or another thing also we say, there is acid in the stomach. That is called Jataragni. Correct? In fact, Bhagavan says, I am sitting there as the Agni in your body. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha. This we chant every day. That's why this is there in the 15th chapter of Gita. So before our lunch or any food we eat, dinner, etc., breakfast also, all 3 times we chant Gita 15th chapter. Why? Because there Bhagavan says, I am sitting there as the Agni in your stomach. So what should be your bhavana then whenever you eat? It is Pranagni Hotram we say. That is why. Okay. It is called Pranagni Hotram because you are offering to your own prana. And in that also, Bhagavan only is the one who is consuming it, sitting as the Vaishwanara Agni in your stomach. If you have this bhavana, then you cannot eat all kinds of junk. Understand that? Because whatever you are eating is not for your pleasure alone. It is an offering to Bhagavan who is sitting there and digesting it. Correct? In fact, digestive power is not really our. It's not digestion doesn't happen willfully or anything. Correct? It's not under my control. That is why more than 50% of the population has problem. Right in the morning, they have problem. Correct? They get up in the morning, they are there is no bowel movement, constipation, all problems are there. For that, they take lot of medicine. Before going to sleep, also you take something. You get up in the morning and you take something and all that, and problem, problem, problem. So Bhagavan is the one who is there, sitting there as the prana. So we have this subtle world. Also, it is accounted for by this 5 elemental model. That is where the 3 gunas are important. We say the tamo guna pradhana 5 elements have become the physical world. Rajoguna pradhana of the five elements have become all the prana, the pancha prana we say. Prana, pana, vyana, udana, samanaha. They are also responsible for all the physiological aspects of the body. And there are also, we say, karmendriya. Correct? Hands are able to move, legs are able to move, circulation is happening in the body, digestion is happening in the body, breath is going on. All these things we have to account for. Correct? These are all the Rajoguna Pradhana. And Sattoguna Pradhana has become your mind and all the Jnanendriyas, the organs, the sense organs. So like this, our five elemental model accounts for everything in your experience. Both the objective world and the instruments which you use to cognize the objective world. That's what here it is called Guna and Karana Gana. Guna there is the objective world. All the objects in the world are also made up of three gunas, particularly in fact, Tamo Guna. And Karanas are also actually made up of Guna only. In fact, that is why in the Gita, there is a verse, okay? Gita, in fact, about these three gunas, there are many verses are there. But one is called Guna Guneshu Artante, Iti Matvana Sajjate and all is there, correct? When Bhagavan is talking about a Tattvavit, Jnani, what is the vision of the Jnani? The Ajnani takes oneself as Karta Bhokta. But Jnani does not take oneself as Karta Bhokta. That is the vision of Jnani. And then, but who is doing everything? Means these gunas are doing it. The gunas are there in the gunas, he says. Guna Guneshu Vartante. And all activities are happening due to that. Why? Because there two gunas are used, correct? But here Guna and Karana are used. But in the Bhashya there, I think in the Gita Bhashya, Bhashyakara says, one guna there is actually the objective world, another guna is the Karana. So, but that is reflected here also beautifully. Guna Karana Ganaha Karoti. Everything is done by only the gunas, which are all the constituents of the Prakriti. All the activities are done by that. But it is really Acheta, it is not Chetana. Because it is Anatma, it is not Chetana, it is not something consciousness or aware. And it is all Maya Mayaha. Okay, it is a modification of Maya or Prakriti. That way also we can take. Or you can even take it as it is all only magic. It is all only an appearance. The entire world is really an appearance. That we all can understand nowadays even better. Why? Because the entire macro world is only an appearance. Every physicist understands that very clearly. Because at a quantum level, 99% is space. Okay, and everything is reduced into a few fundamental particles and all that. But how did a few fundamental particles become all this variegated world? Means it's all Maya. There is no explanation for that. You can why you can ask a scientist after a third or fourth why they don't have any answer really. Nobody can give any answer. It is like this only. You have to say that is the Maya. The entire world which you are perceiving is Maya, even according to physics. Okay. Maya Mayaha api acheta guna karana ganaha karoti karmani. So all this karma is done by guna. But then who are you really then? Because all these things which are done by the gunas are evident to you, correct? I know them. So I am only a knower of all these things. But I am taking myself as the doer also and the enjoyer. That is where the entire problem comes. I am only the knower. Everything becomes evident to me. That means any object of my cognition knowledge is not really I. Okay. It's all happening in my presence. That's why it is called Tad Adhisthata Dehi. So I am the Dehi. The one who is there in the Deha is called the Dehi. The Dehin. Prathama Vibhakti becomes Dehi. So I am the Dehin. And this Dehi Nityam Avadhyoyam Dehe Sarveshu Bharata. Like this. Even in the Gita, the Dehi only is taken up for analysis first. Who is this Dehi? Means this Dehi cannot be killed or anything. Nothing can happen to this Dehi really, because Dehi is pure consciousness. And this consciousness never becomes an object of anything. It can never become an object because it is the eternal subject. It is the witness always. And since it cannot become an object of anything, it cannot be cut, it cannot be drowned, it cannot be burnt. Like this, Bhagavan gives a huge 2-3 verses like that. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyaapaha, na shoshayati marutaha, chedyoyamadahyyoyam akledyo shosyayevacha. Like this, there are a couple of verses in the second chapter. This Dehi is the knower, to whom everything becomes evident. And this entire objective world becomes evident to you. You are only a conscious being to whom all these things are becoming evident. And whatever becomes evident to you can never be you or I. Correct? The aham iti, whatever the aham artha, the meaning of I, if you analyze into that, it can never be placed on anything which is an object of your cognition. That has to be 100% clear to you. But you do that all the time. And this Naisargikaha also, Bhashyakara says, Bhagavan Shankaracharya. But when did it start? Means it is there. From the time onwards you are born, you have a certain natural tendency to have a self-identification with the body-mind sense complex, even though they are only an object of your knowledge. So getting out of that is not very easy. It requires a lot of vichara and also dhyanam and all that. That is where, because you have to overcome this natural tendency. You are only the Dehi in whose presence all these things are happening. But because in your presence alone this is happening, the Dehi is called the Adhishtata. Adhishtata means you can say a ruler or a controller. In your presence, all these things are happening, and you are the consciousness, correct? Sachetanaha, Dehi, Saha, Chetanaha. That Dehi who is the real awareness or consciousness. And also Tad Adhishtata means what? Tad here references all the things which were said in the first. The Guna Karana Ganaha, for them, this Dehi is the Adhishtata, the ruler or controller. And but this Dehi does not do anything. Na karoti kinchidapi. He is not the Karta Bhukta, really speaking. But if he does not do anything, how does he control? How can he be the ruler and controller if you ask? Means for that only couple of analogies are given by Bhagavan Sesha, Adi Sesha. What are those analogies? Beautiful. Let us see. This also we already chanted, I think, correct? Yadvat chetanamapi sannikataste brahmake brahmati loham. Okay, sannikataste brahmake. Brahmake means this is magnet. Sannikataste means what? If the magnet is near Loha is iron filings. Then what happens? These iron filings start moving, correct? Near the magnet, the iron filings start moving. Magnet itself did not do anything. It is just there. Its presence is good enough for the iron filings to start active, to become active and do something, activities. Like that, Tadvat Karana Samuhas Cheshtati Chid Adhishtite. Okay, Dehe. So, this Karana Samuha means all this body mind sense complex. Karya Karana Sangata only we have to take. Samuhaha means it is a group. Okay, or assemblage of all these Karanas, different sense organs, also the organs of action and your mind, everything you have to take in this Karana Samuha, along with the physical body also. They all Cheshtati means what? They all become active, they do something in the presence of this Chaitanyam, which you are really the Dehi. Chid Adhishtite Dehe. So in the Deha, all these Karna Samuhas become active. Because of that, you think Deha also is sentient and conscious. Once this Karna Samuha leaves the Deha, body becomes a dead body, correct? It doesn't do any activity anymore. So like that. So here one example is of magnet. Magnet, in the presence of magnet, iron filings become active. Similarly, in the presence of you, the Dehi, who is the Chaitanyam, all the whatever this prana and mind and sense organs and organs of action, all of them become active in the body, and they are only doing things. You are not doing anything really. You are really akarta abhokta, but you take yourself as karta bhokta because of the self identification with this body mind sense complex. Okay, one more analogy also is given. What is that? Yadvat savituhu udite karoti karmani jiva lokahayam. So once the sun rises, then it is day. Everybody is doing. Lotuses bloom. People start doing activities. Plants start producing food because they can, the chlorophyll takes the sunlight and it can produce food. So in fact, plants are the only things which really produce food in the world. Understand that. Even the Veda, that's why it says, Oshadibhyaha annam. Correct? In the Taittiriya Upanishad, it says, Oshadibhyaha annam, annat purushaha. So the only real food producer are the plants, or whichever can do the photosynthesis. All the others are either eating plants or animals which eat plants. Correct? That is the food chain and all we talk about. Correct? There is a certain ecological pyramid is there. The top predator and things like that, they say. There is a certain balance one has to maintain. Anyway, so, but the only, everybody is really a vegetarian in that sense. Either you eat vegetables or you eat vegetarians. But the food comes only from plants, really, whatever you eat. Anyway, what I'm saying is, all this is due to sun. Sun rises, and then all the activities start. But in reality, you go to the sun and ask, did you do anything? In fact, sun will say, I did not even rise. That itself is wrong. The earth only is rotating, correct? Sun did not really rise. Our sun doesn't set. Sun is always shining. That is its very nature. That's all. It is as it is. It is in its own glory, you can say. It just rests in its nature, which is shining. Okay. It is resting in its own glory. So you go to the sun and say, did you do anything? I did not do anything. I am as you can say the sun made the lotus bloom. But really the sun has any kartrutvam there, means it did not make the lotus bloom or anything. It did not do anything itself. It did not make anybody else do anything else also. But language is funny, correct? You can use sun lights up something, you can say, correct? Because something is there under sunlight, you can say sun lights it up, therefore I am now able to see it and all that. But you go to the sun and ask, did you light up something, means it will say, no, I did not do anything. It is my very nature to shine, be bright. That's all. So, nacha tani karoti ravihi na karayati tadvad atmapi. So the sun did not do anything in the world, and also it did not make anybody to do. Naiva kurvan na karayan. Also, even in the Gita, also Bhagavan teaches this only immediately in the second chapter. As soon as Bhagavan starts teaching Arjuna, the important thing he teaches is what Atma is neither karta nor bhokta. Atma does not do anything, so don't think you are the killer, nor you are the killed. Atma cannot be killed also because it is not an object of any action. Right? It cannot be an object of any action or even cognition. Therefore, it can neither be the killer nor the killed. And killing is taken as an action because it is like the Prathama Malla Nyaya, we say. If Atma is neither the killer or killed, that is like the highest thing you can think of in terms of action. It doesn't do any other action also. So if you want to become world champion, you don't have to fight each and every person in the world, correct? You challenge the existing world champion and defeat him, that is good enough. Like that, here killing itself is taken as the ultimate karma, and Bhagavan says, you are not a killer, nor you are not killed. In fact, this comes in the Kathopanishad also. Actually, that same verse is reused in the Bhagavad Gita, we can say. So there is a verse, Veda vinashinam nityam yena madamavyayam katham sapurusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. Kam ghatayati hantikam. This, know this Atma as Avinashi, is indestructible, and it is eternal, it transcends space-time also. In fact, the greatest misconception is to think that I am existing in space-time, correct? Body only exists in space-time. Understand that. You don't exist in space-time. Space-time exists in you. How can I say this? Means when you sleep, there is no space-time, correct? This entire physical world is gone. Then in dream, you produce a totally new space-time. And that is also gone. When you wake up again, this space-time has come. But the tragedy is you take yourself as a person, like you took, even in the dream, you took yourself as as a person in the dream world and suffered or enjoyed. Similarly, in the waking world also, same thing is happening. Because when I exist in deep sleep, there is no space or time or anything. Understand that. And at the time, you don't have any individuality also. You don't have any body. The other problem is the identification with this body as though it is your reality. But if it is to be your reality and nature, it has to be always with you, correct? Anything, if I say, is your nature or Swarupa, it has to be there with you all the time. But your very individuality is not there with you all the time, correct? If I ask you who you are, even if I wake you up from sleep and ask who you are going to say some name. I am so and so, son and daughter of so and so, etc. But is that your reality? Because without any of that thing, I am awake, I dream, but in dream my individuality can be different, correct? In waking I can be king, in dream I become beggar. Or waking I am beggar, in dream I have become king. Depends on the karma, okay? And in deep sleep there is nothing. There is no individuality. There is neither dream individuality nor waking individuality. But I am there. Is that clear? I am the one who is sleeping, or I am the one who had the experience of sleep. I am the one who is having the experience of waking. I am the one who had the experience of dream. The I is invariable. The states are all variable. Therefore, the whatever is changing is not real, or it's not my nature. I am only of the nature of consciousness, which does not do anything, which is eternal, means basically it transcends space-time itself. Space-time is in me. I am not in space-time. That is the knowledge we are talking about. That's why this Atma is Nityam, Avinashi. It can never be destroyed. If you are not even in space-time, what can destroy you? Nothing can destroy you, in fact. You are not an object to be destroyed. And you are not doing anything also. Everything is happening in your presence. That's all we can say. Like even, so two examples we have given, magnet and sun. So this is the crux of the teaching, correct? Adi Sesha directly comes to the most important teaching in Vedanta, which is to understand that Atma is Akarta, Abhokta. And Atma is Chetana, everything else is Achetana. So this Atma, Anatma Viveka is the most important thing in Vedanta. All the time, in fact, you have to be doing that. As a Vedanta student, the only thing you keep doing 24 hours or till whenever you are awake is what? I am not what I know. This has to be very clear. If this is there with you, no emotions in your mind can affect you. No state of your body can affect you in any way, correct? Once the self-identification goes out of your body, mind, sense complex, it cannot bother you in any manner. It is all just there. It is part of Ishvara's Srishti. Let it be there. There's nothing, there's no problem doing any vyavahara in the body also. Understand that. Whatever is there is happening. It's all happening. Guna guneshu vartante. Correct? Or here we have to say what? Here he says guna karma. Guna Karana. Ganaha Karoti. That's all. Guna Karana Ganaha Karoti. Everything is done by this. Guna Karana Gana. I am not the doer. I am only there to as a conscious presence in whose presence everything is happening. So that is the teaching. Rest of the verses we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.